Islam.
Islam.
Welcome to week number 1 astrology course. First, I rise and give praise to Almighty God Allah. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all Moorish Americans, conscious as well as unconscious. Honors to all those who are here in attendance, as well as those who wanted to be here but could not make it. Islam.
Islam.
Alright, we're going to do this astrology course week 1, which first we go through the science of the Circle 7. For those who were here last week should already have these notes already taken down. Last week we got rained out. We're going to continue the class from last week. Circle 7. Circle 7 is the same science as Hex Alpha. Hex Alpha means as above, so below. As within, also without. Circle 7 is the same representation of that. 7 represents the creative spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and ever more to be, which is called the 7 Elohims, or the 7 eyes of Allah. The 7 eyes of Allah are your chakras, which run from the base of your spine, the 7 energy centers that run from the base of your spine to the top of your cranium. Now, this right here is a manifestation of everything that exists. This also is in correlation to the 7 planes of existence. Although there's 9 planets in the solar system, there's still 7 main planets, and the outer 3 are generational planets, which are just higher octaves of the first 3 planets. Understand? Now, this circle that's around it, or the quadrant that's around it, is a representation of the Earth sitting on a 23.5 degree axis, which is what causes us to have seasons, or your 4 cardinal points, or north, south, east, west, etc. This is below. This is above. This is the science of Circle 7. You understand? The 23.5 degree axis, which gives you a cardinal point here, a cardinal point here, a cardinal point there, a cardinal point there, or your 4 seasons, which is the zodiac, which is in everything. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali put this right on the cover for a reason. He didn't put it on the cover because he wanted you to bow down and worship it. He put it on the cover and called the book Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Circles or Quran, Holy Quran, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, because it's science that you're dealing with, right? The science between the energies, or the science of the energies that run from the base of your spine to the top of your cranium, is astrologically in tune, as well as, you know, that's a principle that exists within, as well as without. And it's also in conjunction with the celestial bodies that we call planets. You understand? So this is what Circle 7 represents. And its connection to astrology goes as follows. What is astrology? Astro, which is a celestial body. Logi, or logic, which means the study of. And what astrology is the study of the planets and how it correlates to human behavior, as well as everything else, not just human behavior. Now, in astrology, or the way that energy flows, because everything that exists exists by way of vibration. Nothing is stationary. Something like this board may appear to be stationary, but if you put it under a magnifying glass that's strong enough, you will see that it's vibrating and moving. Everything that exists by way of vibration. For one, you have light, which travels at 24 billion miles per second. You got sound, which travels at 1,120 feet per second. Slowed down becomes, or you got light, which travels at 186,000 miles per second. Slowed down becomes light, which travels at 1,120 feet per second. And then from that, you get geometrical shapes, such as this chalkboard or this easel, such as humans. You understand? This all comes from the vibrations of the 7 Elohims, which is also why we have 7 days in a week. They correspond to the 7 Elohims as well as the 7 planets. Now, the way that energy flows on this particular plane of existence is broke down 3 ways. What are the phases, Ad, of energy?
Cardinal. You want to be order?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, it's fixed, cardinal, and mutable.
What's cardinal mean?
Cardinal is like beginning.
What's fixed mean rather than paper?
Oh, stable. I was making sure I had the same thing written on my paper.
Mutable?
Changeable.
Got that? What's the next aspect of astrology?
4 elements, which is fire, earth, air, and water.
Fire, earth, air, water. What's fire mean?
Fire, action and spirit.
Earth.
Earth energy. I don't understand the question.
Earthly.
Oh, earthly. With the energy?
Yeah.
Earth, okay. So that's the elements that existed on this vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Things that are earthly in nature. Air.
Air is that communication.
Yeah. What else?
Intellect.
That one too. See.
What about water?
Emotion.
So cardinal means something that's initial, something that's just beginning to initiate an action. Fixed means something that's stable, that stays right there, doesn't like to go nowhere, just like wants to remain right there. This is the science behind what takes place in everything, as well as a season. You have your initial point of the season, then you got your stable point of the season, where it's like at its peak, and then it goes down and starts to change into another season or another phase. And which is what will bring you into changeable or mutable. Then you got your 4 elements, which is fire, which is fiery energy, radiant energy. You got earth, which is earthly energy, grounded energy, energy that is associated with possessions and things that are earthly in nature or mundane in nature. Then you got air, which is communicative and intellectually, or gives off the energy of intellect, which is, you know, the science of air. When you think of air, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You understand? Right. Water is the same thing. Water is like free-flowing energy, emotions. Your body is 75% water. And also, water is a store of information. You can find vast amounts of information stored in water. This is why your body is 75% water. And that's also the energy that that water energy also gives off the science or the energy of intuition. Now we got one more phase, which is gender.
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative.
Male and female.
Which is, what's positive? Anybody?
Energy flowing out.
Negatives must be the opposite then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know a circle is 360 degrees. So when you take a circle of 360 degrees and break it down using all these principles of energy, you'll get 12 possible combinations. And those 12 possible combinations are 30 degrees apiece, which is what our zodiac is. Now, you got all of this?
Oh, I love profit.
You know you got the zodiac chart over there you can use too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't need that right now. Probably need that like week 3. This is the great wheel of the zodiac. Now, when you go to those energies that we just defined and break it down and put them in each one of these 30-degree spaces, this is what gives you the principal energy of that particular 30 degrees, or what they call signs. In astrology, you got 3 things. You got signs, you got planets, you got houses, right? Now, your signs would be these 30 degrees apiece. Your planets, which we're going to get into later on, will rule a particular portion of the wheel. And they also give off certain energies. Your houses is dealing with the 23.5 degree axis and how the Earth, as it spins around during the course of a day, runs through all 12 signs of the zodiac. So the houses are pretty much the same as the signs. There's 12 of them. Now, your first sign would be
Aries.
no, we ain't getting to that yet.
Oh.
First sign would be in the east, south, west, woods. I think this is north there.
Mm-hmm.
South. Now your first sign would be what? Cardinal. It's the beginning, right? This is the east. This is where the sun rises at. When the sun first hits our atmosphere, it rises right here in the east, in Sumatra, India, right? So this would be where it initially touches Earth. And we call that, what, cardinal? So then what would be next? Fix?
Fire. Yeah, fix. You gonna go all the way around first?
Oh yeah, it keeps repeating.
Alright.
That's the science of a cycle, or a cipher. Cipher just, everything that exists keep going on and on and on. It just keeps on spinning and repeating itself. That's why he says in the circle 7, you measure time by cycles and ages. You understand? This is how you measure time. 'Cause that's all, time is an illusion. But you can, however, measure time. And the way that you measure that illusion is by way of looking at the planet or the celestial bodies and how they keep coming around and doing the same thing over and over again.
Is that the same reason why the clock goes from 1 to 12 and then once it gets to 12 continues back to 1?
That's exactly the reason why. The clock is made off of this wheel. You could thank the late great Ben Banneker for that.
Oh yeah, Big Ben.
The clock maker.
You know what? At the Georgia court, on the
You
campus,
alright, Travell?
they got a it's a like a sun clock, like a sundial.
Sundial.
Yeah, but around, like if you look on the ground, they got the zodiac signs on the ground. If you look.
Yeah. Even the sundial is based and rooted on this right here.
You might want to invest in one of them, because if the cell phone towers ever fall, then you ain't never gonna know what time it is unless you learn how to read a sundial.
Well,
You
I
can
can
make one.
I can pretty much read it. If the sun is out, I can pretty much tell what time it is, depending on, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, it switches up with the season though.
Mhm.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to what season it is, because sometimes the sun will be like, let's say this is the earth you're standing on, and the sun, you know, rises from this way. Let's just say it rises from this way, and then boom. Like, at certain points in time of the year, the sun might be right here, but it'll be 11 o'clock. And then at another point in time of the year, the sun might be right here, and it'll be 9 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? It changes with the season.
Yeah, because of the tilt.
Exactly. And like, I can pretty much tell what time it is by looking at the sun if it's out. But I mean, you know, the sundial, yeah, that would be a good investment. All right, we got all the cardinal, fixed, mutable, all through the circle. What next?
Elements.
The elements.
Yeah, first one is fire,
Fire. What's the next one?
earth, air,
You looking at the paper?
no water. My paper is in my room too.
Oh, all right, so you've been studying that. And then it repeats itself. Oh, water.
Is there a reason that they come in that specific order?
No reason. That's just the way energy flows. And our ancient forefathers were able to figure it out.
I mean, like, so you couldn't put air before, you can't start off with air, but fire. It's specifically fire, earth.
Good.
I believe there is a reason why they start with fire. If you think about Aries, Aries is the start of the spring when the sun first comes back. You understand? So as the season starts to heat up, of course you're going to start with fire to make that happen. And if you look, earth, where it's fixed, that's when the flowers start to grow and things begin to grow in the spring. You know what I'm saying? And as it mutates and the air changes, then you have water flowing into summer. You understand? There's a reason why it does that.
Yeah, that's the way it flows. It's the way energy flows. When I said as above, so below, as within, also without, that don't just apply to the planets. That apply to everything that exists. That apply to how vibrations move. You get what I'm saying? And this is how they move.
Exactly. That's why that is called the clock. It's the seasons. It goes